This is Soph,
This is Rich
and we are from
from
across the
across the
pond.
pond. Morning, Richard.
Morning,
Well, it's morning for you.
morning.
Can I just say to
Yes.
anybody who's watching, if you, like me, maybe it's on this side of the pond, I don't know, I've got a slight delay in the show from that end, then I'm sorry about that. Rich doesn't seem to have it, but I have it over here. So I don't know how it's going to turn out. But hey, we roll.
We're here.
We roll
We are here, and we are in there.
like swimwear.
So, how was your week?
My week, as per usual, I don't know where the week's gone. I've worked my cotton socks off. I've been to the chiropractor to crack my back twice again, and it's getting better. So she said from next week, I only have to go once. Thank the Lord, that means I don't have to remortgage my house because this is killing my pocket going twice a week. But we go.
Get it done, though. That's the good part.
Do you know what? I just don't get it. Like, you lay there, she pokes here, pulls here, and it goes. And when you get up, you feel like you've done a full-on workout, man. It's weird. Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
God, am I that literally unfit? All I've done is lay on your bed, and she goes like this. Okay, relax, and it goes. Like, it's just bizarre, really bizarre. But yeah, I only have to go once a week from next week. I went to a wedding reception last night to
Was that?
yes, I bopped and weaved and ducked and dived. I was giving it all the
Yeah.
um it wasn't my sort of music, but I knew the music, so we move as you do.
Yeah.
um so yeah, Esme and Nikki, two ladies. I know her. God, I've known Esme since I was about 10, and she,
Mm-hmm.
as we've come up the ranks, is actually now my gardener. And she has been for about 5 years. But yeah, went to the reception, had a lovely time, had on the best killer heels you would believe, red flower trim up the foot, about this high. That was the first thing anybody said to me when I walked in. Oh my God, them shoes. And I was like, thank you. Thank you. If there's anything I know
Yeah.
about in life, it is shoes. Can't no one test me on shoes for love nor money. So yeah, that was that.
Love it.
But the majority has been work. Alfie's now on. Oh gold. There goes. Oh gold. There goes my footrest. Um, Alfie is now on another week off school, half term. I said to the head teacher the other day, these kids are always having time off. Like, I never had that much time off when I was that age. I swear to goodness.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's off. Oh, good news. You know how we love good news.
Yes.
My dad's other half has been discharged from hospital to go home.
Yes.
Rita could not be happier to be home in her own bed. And I'm telling you, I'm sure she has got my dad literally fetching cups of tea or coffee like he should. Off he goes.
Off you go.
Yep, he needs to be doing his
But your dad is probably ecstatic though.
Oh yeah, obs. But he's got his nurse duties to do now. So
Mm-hmm.
he'll be having the time of his life. But yeah, I'm glad she's home. Um, yeah, so that's about it. What has been happening in your week?
Well, I had a I had a cookout yesterday with the immediate family.
At
My
your
niece,
house?
yeah, at my house, which my niece, her husband got relocated down south.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of like a get together slash going away type deal.
Okay. I can hear in your voice you've been partying, you know. You know that.
Oh yeah, I got the I got
You got the party
I got
croak
the
going on.
Yeah, I do. Cause we got it in, played cards. I learned how to make the perfect burger on the grill.
How? Okay,
It was they were such a hit.
can you quickly just school us? How do you do the perfect burger?
Can't it's a secret.
All right,
You gotta
let's
do a
talk
real
privately
recipe.
off camera about that, because if
Yeah,
it's
privately
perfect,
off camera because
I
I'm
need
not
to
giving
know.
up. They were such a hit that they ate them all.
Did you
So
make them?
yeah, I made them.
Bloody hell, excuse my language.
Thank you very much. I made them. They weren't out of a box. They were slapped on the grill.
Well, I ain't mad at you.
Hmm.
Anything else apart from barbecuing?
Also, um, also, uh, it's just been a really quick week.
Right. And I'm just going to say this, I'm sure it's since the last time, last Sunday, you've got a new job, right?
Right.
And how is
And I
this?
happen to love this job.
Love it. And you know what? It shows, because the last job you'd liked at the beginning, but it gradually went downhill after a while.
Yeah, yeah, it did. It gradually went way downhill. Um, this job is just utilizing my skills, which makes a person feel good.
You a pimp?
No, utilizing my skills.
That's what I mean. Your
No.
skills.
No,
You a
not those
gangster?
skills. Yeah, not those skills.
Right.
Um, but everything turned out all right. It was a busy week. It rained here really
Yeah.
hard, and then the sun came out and made everything better.
Yeah, we've had a lot of sun here, to be fair, and I'm grateful for it. I wish it would be like this every day. It can rain at night when I'm asleep, just not
Yeah,
during the day. That would be amazeballs. But I think ours is only meant to last till Tuesday, and then the sky's going to open and the wet stuff's going to fall back out again, just as the kids are on
yeah.
holiday. Yay.
Yay. So what's going on in the news for you?
Well, still the Johnny Depp trial. I'm not really sure how long that's going to go on for, but that is trailing out. Um, Also, Boris Johnson, he got off with the first party fine. They didn't fine him anything from home. He's getting done for a second party, where there's pictures of him glugging back wine, all the people sat around the table having a jolly good time. Now, I don't really see the reason why, because they let him off the first one with evidence. So I'm damn sure he's going to worm his way out of this one, right? But my
Right.
question to Bojo would be, all of those people during lockdown that you fined and made them pay money for having more than one person in their house, is he going to give them their money back? Because he broke the rules
No,
himself and he's not paying. So I would be fighting tooth and nail to say, give me my money back, yo. And I'm not joking.
no. You're not getting that money back.
I
It's not
would.
gonna happen.
I would sit outside number 10 Downing Street on the doorstep and not move till he give me my peas back, because how are you going to find me when you've done exactly the same thing? And when you
Yeah.
listen, like the news people have tracked down, the newsreaders have tracked down people, and there was a guy in the week, and his wife died of COVID while she was pregnant, leaving him with two small children, and he wasn't even allowed to go and visit her to say goodbye when she passed away. And he
Mm.
was saying, I couldn't even see my wife while she was dying. She's left me with my two children while he's there having a party drinking wine. And this bellend is in charge of our country. How? Like, just makes us look stupid. I don't get it.
Oh,
But no, other than that, I did have the news on a couple of times this week on purpose, because obviously I'm conscious that we're just one a week now, so I want to try and squeeze everything in possible. But
Yeah,
schoolboy error, I didn't make any notes, and it's gone in this ear and out that ear. So if I've
yeah,
missed any major events, sorry about that.
yeah.
What's been going on in the news over there?
Well, celebrity news, Ray Liotta passed away. And I don't know if you know who Ray Liotta is, but he played in one of the classic gangster movies, The Goodfellas.
Oh, I like Goodfellas.
And he played the star in Row. That's what made him famous, actually, playing in Goodfellas. He was 67 years old, which is
Mm.
still fairly young, and he was still acting.
Excuse me, sorry, I've just remembered something. You talking
Yeah.
about showbiz news. I actually went yesterday to see the new Top Gun film.
How was it?
Rubbish.
You don't like you don't like nothing. You
No,
don't
do you
like
know
any
what?
movie.
Sometimes when there's a classic, you should just leave it alone, right? It was
Mhm.
predictable. It took a while to get in. Like, you could have chopped that film in half and it would have been better. And it was only like
Yeah.
maybe an hour and a half long. So long to get going. So predictable. Me. I mean, don't get it twisted. Tom looks good for his age. I don't fancy him, but I'm saying for his age, he looked good. But other than that, don't rush out to the cinema. Wait till it comes on Sky or satellite telly and watch it on cable. Don't waste your money, people.
Ooh, that's rough.
But I did post my review on Facebook, and everybody in the comments agreed. It's predictable. What a letdown. Yada yada yada. You know, the only person I've read a review so far that's actually said it's any good.
Who was that?
Piers Morgan. He's the only person that said it's very good and is worth waiting for.
Yeah. I've yet to see it, but I plan on to.
And do you know how good I feel about that? That a movie has come out brand new and I've seen it before you. I am
know,
marking
right?
this down
I have
in my diary.
I have every intentions on watching it so you can get my point of view.
This never happens, folks. This guy watches
I
films.
personally
Well, listen, this guy watches films before they've even put the final clapper down and said it's finished. He's already watched it before it's been produced. Every time. This is a win for me, a win.
Yes, that is a win for you because I don't go see movies on opening day. That's one of my rules.
Well, only Fast
Because
and
there's so
Furious
many
would be.
people want to see it that the movie theater is crowded and then people are talking and laugh. I can't concentrate on the movie. And I'm not big on big crowds anyway.
I went to a little cinema that I've never been to before, out of town, called Everyman, and they have these little sofas you sit on, not just a chair. And the people come to your thing and say, "Oh, what can I get you?" And I was like, "I'll have 3 scoops of ice cream, please, and I'll have what did I have? Oh, a passion fruit daiquiri."
Look at you.
Even the man next door to me, I don't know who he was with his son. When she brought over the little cocktail and then the ice cream and put it on the table, he was like, "Oh, look at you, you're going all in." And I was like, why not? It's the weekend, may as well.
Yeah, that's what's up. But in lighter news, it's sad to say on this side of the pond, we have a really big issue, which we're going to discuss, and that's gun violence. I think we've talked about it once before, but I think now it's getting a little out of hand, and something needs to be done.
All them poor children. Can you imagine? Yeah. Like, I can't imagine sending Alfie off to school, and he doesn't come home, and I'm never going to see him again just because some idiot decided to go and open fire.
Yeah, and you know what's the sad part? There was a young girl who's 11 years old. I can't pronounce her name, but you know she played dead. She wiped blood on herself and played dead, and she was given a vivid description of what went down in that classroom. Well, and that's so traumatic for a child to have to go through.
But
Something needs to be done.
I have seen it, but I haven't listened to the full, like I've caught clips. What happened to the guy? Because sometimes these mass shooters normally end up firing on themselves, right? So did he get arrested or what happened?
Yeah, he got arrested.
And has he said why he done it yet?
No.
Okay, so let me ask you one question, right? Because you have guns, we don't.
Yes, I do. Yes.
What do you think should be the law as regards to guns over there?
I think it should be across the board background checks, period. I mean, they do have a background check because I personally own a few weapons and I had got a background check on all of them. So I think there should be an age limit. You should be a certain age.
But you still think they should be allowed?
Yeah. I think there should be an age limit. And then I think for these youngsters who are doing these shootings, I think the parents should be held accountable.
Okay, so let's just rewind a little piece. You think guns should still be allowed after everything that's gone on. Why is that?
Because there's actual people who know how to actually use them and use them correctly. We have hunting over here. We have, marksman's competitions and stuff like that. And then you have actual people who use guns for a living, for like their livelihood.
Okay, so take away those things that you just said: guns for a living, hunting, the competition thing you said about. Why would you need to use a gun? When do you think you would need to use a gun?
For protection only.
So you think if someone comes into your yard or they attack you in the street or basically you're on fire, then it's okay to use a gun and shoot somebody?
Yeah, self-defense. If it was self-defense, yes, by all means.
Okay,
you have to protect yourself.
If they change the law over there to say what we just said, only guns for this, age limits, checks, only use it. How many people do you think would just pop a cap in someone and then say, oh yeah, it was self-defense?
Yeah. See, that's the tricky part, because you can't predict how someone is going to feel and what they're going to do. But I think you can limit like I said, there should be an age limit, or age requirement.
You mean age? What age is the minimum you can buy a gun?
To be honest, I didn't really do the research as far as finding out how old you can be. I think 18.
Let me have a look how old you can be to buy a gun. I'm going to have to say in the US.
Yeah. I want to say 18, but
what do you think it should be?
I think it should be the same age as if you want to buy a pack of cigarettes, which 21, 21.
It says, do you have to be a certain age? Oops, don't you hate it when ads pop up when you're reading something? Do you have to be a certain age to buy a firearm? Yes, under the Gun Control Act, shotguns, rifles, ammunition may be sold only to individuals 18 years or older.
See what I'm saying?
So this is what makes me laugh right now about the States. You can go and buy a gun when you're 18, but you can't have an alcoholic drink until you're 21.
Exactly. You dig
How the fudge does that make any sense whatsoever?
It doesn't. And it's sad that we have these youngsters who think that it's okay to do that. You know what I mean? We've had a numerous amount of shootings, and it just seems like it's getting worse each year. And for this elementary school to get fired upon by a bully, so-called bully, it's a sad thing, because now I feel like the parents should be held. If you are 18, that means you still living under mommy and daddy's rules.
True. And no excuse will be good enough, but I would like to know what he says when they ask him why did he do it. Also, it's always boys that do these mass shootings. You never hear about a woman or a female doing mass shootings or anything like that.
I know, because some of these fathers um are hunters. Most of these people, their family members are hunters, or they collect guns and stuff like that. And that's why I mean, like, there should be some type of parental guidance. If not, should be held accountable.
Do they
I
mention it or
really
talk
do.
about it or give lessons about it in schools there?
Well, you know what? Now you got school shooting drills.
School shooting drills. Actually, I
Yeah.
saw a TikTok of this teacher, like her voiceover, and she was doing all these things. Like at the beginning, she was sat at the table writing, and she was saying, "It's so sad that it's come to a point where you have to map out a plan if something's going to happen, find an escape route or find a hiding place." And then you see her opening a cupboard and climbing down the side and closing the door, not for, she was saying, not just for her but for her children that are in her care, yada yada.
Yeah. And that's sad, because the only drills we had back in the day was fire drills.
Yeah.
And now it's come to the point to where kids now have to, and teachers, like you said, have to map out exit routes and how to handle school shootings.
Okay, let me ask you this. If a president, forget Biden because he's useless, let's just say a president got appointed, went into office and said, right, I'm changing all the gun laws. Let's say no one under the age of 25, you have to have checks. Like we said, only self-defense at work or whatever the points were we used. Slam, this is the law. Which way do you think it would go? Do you think people would be up in arms and there'd just be riots everywhere, or do you think people would back it?
I think it'd be riots everywhere, because you got some of these
Really?
people. Yeah, you got some of these people that believe in, you know, the right to bear arms, and they feel like, and I can't really speak for them, but they feel like it's okay to have a gun
I
for any reason. So, and with these laws, the president is like he's supposed to be like our voice, right? But the Senate is the ones that make the laws. The Congress and the Senate, they the ones that make the laws. You know what I mean? And what I've heard is that they have a law put in place, but it's just been sitting there and no one's talking about it. You know what I mean?
what do you
About
think would need to
extensive
happen?
background checks.
What do you think would need to happen for it to change? Because there's a lot of lives dying, people dying, and
Right.
lives being taken
It needs to be
unnecessarily.
changed. What happens is, whatever that law that they have laying on the table needs to be signed, and there needs to be tougher rules. I just think there needs to be
Yeah, but that's
tougher
what I'm asking you. What
stipulations.
would it take for them to wake up and smell the coffee and say, yo, this needs to change, this is what we need to do?
You know what? I do not know, because these shootings be in like royal areas. I would say, like, if it was in their, if it was in their backyard, you know what I mean? But it's in their backyard and they're not doing anything.
I think it's really bizarre how these sides of the pond are so different. Like our police don't even have guns over here, and they're supposed to protect us.
Mhm.
So I'd like to try and do some digging around to see at what point, who made up the rules that are so different for across the pond. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Why did they decide, actually, yeah, in America you can have gun, but actually in England you can't?
Yeah. Well, some people, because it's in the Constitution, the rights to bear arms and yada yada yada, and people play on that. Like, well, it's in
Who
the
wrote that? Who
It's in
wrote
the
that?
Constitution,
What?
huh?
Who wrote that constitution?
Some men back in the day, you know what I mean? And it just, some things just need to be updated and changed. And I feel like you're using a piece of paper that's was done millenniums ago, and you're playing on certain things. It's like taking certain things out and running with it.
But you saying that they should be able to be used them for self-defense. I remember years ago, I want to say like 10 years ago, there was a farmer and somebody broke into his house in the middle of the night while he was there. He caught them trying to steal. They attacked him like with a bar or something and whacked him. So he went and got his gun and shot them. He was going to go to court to go to jail for shooting somebody, even though they broke into his yard and they attacked him. Because he shot them and the man died, he was going to go to jail.
Well,
so even there, self-defense, it's actual self-defense, and he's still going to go to jail. So what are you supposed to do? Let some open your door and say, okay, come in and take whatever you want.
Right. And see, that's where the laws get tricky. You know what I mean? Because depends on where you shoot that man in the privacy of your home. You know, some people say
if he's running away and he's attacked you, your aim is going to be all over the gaff. So you couldn't go to shoot him in the leg and slip and then pop him in the heart and he's gone. You just don't know.
And then certain people think that like if the person was outside of your home and you shot them, then it's not self-defense. You see what I'm saying? You're supposed to just let that person go. Like you're supposed to just let them go.
One person's idea of self-defense is not somebody else's, you know, and it's all down to personal perception and who the person is at the time that makes that decision.
That's true. I totally agree with you. But like I said, that's what I mean by these laws. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like these laws need to be updated and clarified so that people can make that type of decision. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's so many loopholes and bylaws and little, you know, wording that clarifies having a weapon. You know what I mean? Because if he'd have whacked him over the head with a bar and killed him, would it be considered? Would he have to go in front of a judge and be like, "Hey, I whacked him"? But sometimes it's funny when you have a gun. Yeah,
I think if they say you should be allowed a gun, but for self-defense, it's a contradiction, really. I think if it was me, I'd at least try and shoot somebody in the leg or the arm just to try and stumble them. Like,
well, that's what you're supposed to do. But just like you said, in the heat of the moment, who is trying to pay attention to shooting somebody in the leg?
And look how long it takes people to train to use guns when they have those paper things to shoot it actually in the right place, target practice or whatever. Yeah. Do you think then that when you go to buy a gun, it should automatically come with, say, 3-4 lessons of target practice at the shooting range?
No, I think you should pay for those.
Oh, I know you've got to pay for them, but what I'm saying is before you buy the gun, you got to go and have at least 4 practice target shootings on how to use it.
Yeah, I think there should be some classes before you can actually get, you know, how to properly handle.
And you got to show a signed off certificate to prove that you've done those before the gun comes into your palms.
That's a great idea. I think they should implement that as well.
And if you go to buy a little pistol, I don't know what they're called. I don't know the technical name, by the way. So you go to buy a handgun pistol, right? Then you've got to have 4 lessons on how to do that. If you then decide you want to buy a shotgun, you got to go back and have another 4 lessons on how to use a shotgun. You can't use your handgun pistol lessons to do this whole
Okay. Like I said, if it was up to us, we would have stricter rules. But it's the people that's making the rules that are giving it a hard time. You know what I mean? Making it hard. They're making it easy.
When you look at the overall rules and laws, if you like, they literally don't make no sense. Like, you can buy a gun before you can have a drink. You can smoke before you know, all these different things about age limits on smoking, driving. It just doesn't make no sense.
Right.
Somebody must have been drunk when they put that law into place. That's all I'm going to say. It was probably a load of old white men sitting around a table drinking whiskey. Oh, this sounds like a good idea. Oh, let's do that. Yeah. Woo, guns. Stamp. There, it's done.
Yeah. So now I just feel like a lot of the Constitution, a lot of
Can I just
what our
ask a question?
forefathers.
What
Yeah,
is the Constitution?
it's a declaration that America kind of follows. It's just something that's,
Like the law,
yeah,
but it's not the law.
sort of. It's something that some people follow, and it's
So
hard to
if you
explain.
didn't follow it, you wouldn't
That's a
be breaking the
discussion.
law.
That's a discussion we should have just strictly on the Constitution.
But can I just ask, if you didn't follow the Constitution, you wouldn't be breaking the law?
In some cases you would, in some cases you wouldn't. Yeah, it's hard to explain because y'all don't have a constitution over there.
No. But do you get taught? Is it like a Bible?
You get taught it in school. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is it
Mhm.
like you can have a copy, like you get given a copy like the Bible or not?
You can get a copy of it, but it's in the Constitution is in the museum.
Oh,
That's how old it is. That's why I say that it needs to be updated.
I might Google that myself later, the Constitution.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's a whole show right
I
there.
wonder why they thought you needed one in the States.
Because back then it was chaos back then.
And it ain't chaos now. Kids killing kids.
That's what I'm saying. It's getting crazier and crazier. That's why I feel like there should be tougher laws. There should be Parents should be held accountable. I think there should be an age limit, a tougher background check. You know what I mean? A thorough background check, not just like you had any prior, traffic violations. Nobody needs to know all that. We need to know like if you are mentally unstable, that type of stuff.
So then maybe they should do a mental check and lessons at the shooting range before you buy a gun.
Take some counseling.
Yeah.
What the purpose? Yeah,
but even
makes
then,
a lot of sense.
These crazy people can hide it good. That's the other problem. You can sit in a room with somebody for 1 hour and they can tell you everything you want to hear and seem like the nicest person in the world, and then next day go and pick up a gun and pop a cap in somebody. That's just how they work, these crazy people.
Yes, I totally agree.
So you don't think if they said, okay, we're going to be the same as United Kingdom and we're going to take all guns away,
that's going to be really hard. I really honestly think that would be really hard. I mean, I own weapons. Are they going to reimburse me for the money I spent?
No.
On the ammo? Are they going to reimburse me on the money?
Okay, let me ask you then. You've got weapons. Have you, apart from going to the shooting range, have you ever had to use it?
Nope. And they're locked up. They're locked up safe.
Okay, but this is what I mean. So
out of reach of children.
They're locked up, right? Out of reach of children, under the mattress, in the top of the wardrobe, in a box, in a safe, wherever they are. You mean to tell me if somebody was to break into your yard, how you got enough time to go and get it and use it in self-defense?
Well, I'll have enough time. A person who owns a weapon knows, exactly where it is, how long it takes to get that weapon, load it, or do whatever needs to be done.
Did you decide to get weapons just because you was in the military? Is that why? Why?
Mm-mm. I got it for the way the world is now.
Okay.
When I was coming up, you use these. These were your guns.
Uh-huh.
This generation now, they don't even fight. It's all shoot them up. You know what I mean? So now I think you just gotta evolve with the times. You know what I mean? And the way the world is now, it's not fair. Like there is no fair ones anymore. There is no, because I remember you fight a guy, you win, lose. You think 2 weeks or 3 weeks later, y'all could end up being friends and be friends for life. You know what I mean? And be reminiscing. Like I remember when you socked me in the eye, my eye was swollen. But guess what? We're here, we're friends. And look, you live to see another day. Now, this generation, they have no disregard for life. They have They have no, it's like these youngsters think they're invincible,
Untouchable. That's what they think they are.
and they have no value of what life is. You know what I mean? You got these people that like these shootings, no sense of regard of life, and this and so if you're out here and you happen to be going to the grocery store, which is crazy, you know what I mean? You feel now that you have to have a weapon on you for protection, for self-defense, for protection. You never know now. It's gotten to the point where you never know. You could be at the post office. There used to be a saying, going postal. You know what I mean? Now you can call it anything. Going to the grocery store.
So do
Going
you
to
take yours
elementary
with you
school.
when you go out then?
It depends on where I'm going. If I'm going out with the fellas and we happen to be, probably bouncing from bar to bar, yeah, I do carry. On the weekends, I do carry. During the week, when I'm going to work, no. And I'm going straight home, nope, I don't keep it on me. But if it's the weekend and I'm going out and I know I'm going to be out pretty late, or so on and so forth, yeah, I carry.
Do you know anybody that's got a weapon that's had to use it?
No, and that's the thing. You don't carry it for, what I mean, wanting to use it. You carry it,
No, but
what I mean?
sometimes, you might have to. I just
Yeah.
wondered.
That's why you hope you have it on you.
Do you think women should have guns there?
Heck yeah. Especially women. I don't want to seem sexist, but weapons go for everybody.
Mm.
As long as you know and educated enough and know how to actually handle a weapon, then by all means, go for
Oh yeah, I'd have to have some serious training because I wouldn't want to break a nail. Like,
it.
imagine that. Oh, excuse me, can you just wait a minute? I broke my nail. Oh,
You broke your nail on the trigger, huh?
right.
Mm. See, that's why there's training to be involved, education. I mean, they're now, don't get it twisted. There are classes that you can take. There are classes that some ranges require you to have, a class before you can even go on the range. So they are there. It just needs to be tougher.
I would like to know what people think, like the listeners, the viewers. I would like people to leave comments about their views, what they think should happen. How, like I said, if the president was to come in and slam down the book and say, yo, let's chuck it out, we're not having these no more, do they think it would be uproar, or do they think people would go for it? I'm interested, men and women, men and women.
Yeah.
Um, I might do a poll actually on our Instagram story and say for or against,
Yeah, that would be nice
because
to
that would
hear
be
what
good.
you
And then I could
think.
come back next week and we could try and tell you what got the most votes, and we could even break it down to like the percentage of men and women that answered and what they said.
Hmm.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
Very
Very,
interesting.
very interesting. And prayers go out to all the victims of these mass shootings lately.
And their families, man. Come on. Like I
Yeah,
said, I can't imagine
and their families.
sending off my son for a day at school and then either getting that call or turning on the news and seeing that on there for your
Yeah, just
child.
like the shooting in the grocery store. You just went in to get a loaf of bread and never come back out. It's sad. It's sad to think that, like, I'm thinking about, should I carry my weapon to the grocery store for protection?
Mm.
That's where the world has come to. School shooting, instead of having a fire drill, they're having school shooting drills. This is where the world has come to, and it's getting way out of hand.
Something needs to be done, otherwise it's going to end badly, like really badly.
Right. I agree. I very much agree. And I, like you, I would really like to hear what people think
Yeah.
about these school shootings.
That was shootings in general, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was very serious.
Yeah, that was very serious.
Let's
Well,
try and make it a bit lighthearted next week, eh?
Yeah, we will try to make it a bit lighthearted, but it's something that needs to be addressed.
And that's why we're here, because we chop it up. You got your opinion, I got my opinion. We drop in a couple of facts, and then set it out there. Let's see what people think.
Send it out.
I'm telling you, I bet you any money when I turn on the news over here tomorrow morning, they'll be saying, what do you think about these gun shootings? Should they do this? Should they do that? Because they always listen to our show and then put it on the news the next day.
Yes, agreed.
We are trendsetters.
Yupper.
Yepper.
Yeah. As we always end this show, don't forget to like, click, and subscribe.
Share and follow.
Share and follow. How we end it with, this is Soph.
This is Rich.
And we are from across the pond.
Rich, I'm going to see you Wednesday for our meeting. I forgot about that last Sunday, but see you Wednesday, and we'll see everyone else on Sunday. Have a lovely week.
Hey, you have a lovely week as well. Can't wait to see you on Wednesday.
I hope your job still continues to be a good
delightful
one. Yepper.
Yupper.